All right, Shalom. We're the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in this work. And as always, you believe it's the Akim as well as the Aqua, those of you who subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And as always, the theme is prophecy. All right. And what's taking place right now is Yahweh Shema Shai is beginning to declare, in order, if you will, is an ordinance that have come down from the heavens for the so-called white man to let the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American go free, as was in the time of ancient Egypt, where in that day, the Lord raised up Moses and Aaron in the stead of prophets. And they actually went straight to Pharaoh, man. All right. That ministry was against the house of Pharaoh. In particular, historians label him as Pharaoh Ramses II. Okay. Well, guess what? When you fast forward to now, which this would be considered spiritually Egypt, the Lord has sent us forth, in that same stead, to prophesy against our oppressors, which only this time would be the so-called white man. Okay, so we was commanded to prophesy against Mount Seir. Matter of fact, let's start off. You got something? Go ahead and get that. Let's start. Ezekiel.
It's the book of Isaiah 13:1. Mm-hmm. The burden of Babylon.
Yep, the burden of Babylon. Okay, which that Babylon right there is concerning America. Matter of fact, before we go any further, look up that word Babylon right there, Baba Kashak. Okay. Because it is a burden, all right? There's a burden. The Lord has prepared a sore destruction for this place, man. And it's going to be a surgical, it's going to be methodical. It's not going to be a mercy killing, as they say. The Lord is going to torture this place, man. All right? From the plagues that's been prepared, we often speak about the famine. You're going to have insurrections. All right? The dollar is headed towards a major crash. The America, as you once know, and the very plateau of this place is going to change dramatically and drastically. See, before ultimately the plague of the Lord violently destroying this place. Okay, so that's a burden. That's the burden concerning Babylon. Go ahead, up.
Yeah, this is the word Babylon. It's Babal.
Babal. Okay, go ahead.
It says confusion.
Confusion
by mixing.
By mixing. That's how we know that this Babylon right here is talking about modern day America. See that? A confusion by mixing, which America is known as the great melting pot. You have a mixture of nations here, all right? You have places like little Chinatown, little Italy, okay? You can eat different, foods. You have Chinese food, right? You have different genres of music from all over the world. Pretty much all the people came and flocked. Oh, that's in the book of, matter of fact, let's get that real quick in the book of Ezekiel. Let's get that real quick. Yep. Hey, the spotlight on America, man. Okay, the Lord has fixed his sights. America is in his crosshairs, so to speak. Okay, the Lord has targeted America as the corporate. Why? Because this is where the so-called white man has set up. This is where he has pitched his tent. And being the offender that he is, then this is where the judgment is coming. All right, come on up.
God, this is the book of Ezekiel 31. I start at verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, his height was exalted above all the trees of the field.
Right, and that's dealing with the so-called white man. When you go into the scriptures from a symbolic point of view, if you will, the nations is known as trees. It tells you that in the book of Mark. I believe that's the 4th chapter. I have seen men as trees. So when the scriptures say this particular tree was exalted above all the other trees, that's dealing with the so-called white man, where this man has excelled all the other nations. And that's biblical prophecy. It's not according to this nigga's technology or his know-how, No, the Lord set him up. This is Esau's season to rule. See that? So in an effort to fulfill biblical prophecy, the Lord raised this man up. All right, go ahead.
It said, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth.
Right, and those branches represent his extension, his influence, which have extended throughout the world. This man has military bases on damn near every continent. What they say is over 800 military bases. You got U.S. embassies. Okay, pretty much it was all an effort to corner the market. All right, which he seized control of the resources of the planet Earth, the gold, the oil, the diamonds. You got the Oppenheimers. I think they run the the diamonds. You know, well, that's an acronym. Gold, oil, diamonds, God. It's power. See that? So the so-called what? You can't run away from. Oh, and that's another thing. Why won't you just come out and say you running it, man? That's so that you're a goddamn, you're a damn criminal, man. See that? Go ahead.
It said, all the fowls of heaven made their nest in his bowls.
Read that again.
All the fowls of heaven made their nest in his bowls.
Right, meaning all the nations flocked to America, man. See? Read that one more time.
It said, all the fowls of heaven made their nest in his bowls.
Go ahead.
And under his branches.
And under his branches, see, go ahead.
Did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young.
Right, yeah, it was an exodus to, not an exodus, but a migration. Yep, there you go. To America, man. Okay, they brought their young. It was all an effort to set up a soft landing for their kids and their kids after that. That's where you get that phrase, the American dream. And that lets you know that this is the place of darkness. You know, this is the land, this is the night. Okay? So everybody came over here and you know, an attempt to live out the American dream. So read that one more time, huh?
It says, verse 6, Ezekiel 31:6, all the fowls of heaven made their nests in his bowls, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young.
Yep, go ahead.
And under his shadow.
And under his shadow, this is that valley of shadow of death, America. Go ahead.
Dwelt all great nations.
See, dwelt all great nations. So that's why America is known as the great melting pot. And that's why we looked up that word in Isaiah the 13th chapter, Babylon, which goes back to the Hebrew word babal. It translates to confusion by mixing. Okay? Which it never supposed to have been that way. We know it's the will of Yahweh Shema Shah, but it was done to show the disobedience of Esau, man. You know, that's why he's known as Satan, the adversary. Hey, because when you go into the law, the Lord gave each nation their land. All right, the scriptures tell you you're not to remove the landmarks. But this man came right around and brought everybody together. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Habakkuk 2 and verse 5, it says, yeah, also, because he transgressed by wine.
And who is that he that's dealing with the so-called white man? See, at some point, you got to ask those questions. Who is that he right there? Is it the devil? And I'm talking about the devil in the traditional sense. You know, the guy you scared to go to sleep, you think he going to get you. You know, with horns and a damn pointed tail. No, that he right there is dealing with the so-called white man. And if you marveling at that, if that doesn't register with you, take a step back, take a deep breath, and analyze, assess this man's works. You look back in retrospect, this man, in his pursuit to power, he left nothing but bloodshed in the wake, man. Okay? And not to mention what he did to the tribes, you know, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. And Lord willing, we're going to get into that. Hey, because you got a lot of these guys out there, these Negro-only Israelites, man. And they have no place in their heart to accept the idea of the natives and the Latin tribes being Israelites. Well, when you go into history, you see that we all have one common enemy, man. And neither do they have a seat on the UN either. Okay? So the conspiracy to cut Israel off from being a nation, guess what? That applies to not only the so-called Negroes, but the Latin tribes as well. Okay? Yep, come on out.
It says, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man.
He is a proud man, and that word proud right there, if you're paying attention, that places Esau on the scene of the crime. You hear these quotes from Esau, proud to be an American. It's another one, proud to be a Marine.
Yeah.
You know? Not to mention you have Pride Month, gay pride. See? Those are all synonymous with the so-called white man. Go ahead.
It says, neither keep it at home.
Yep, neither keep it at home. And we just briefly mentioned that. This man everywhere, man. You got a military base all throughout the world. You got a McDonald's out there. Give me that real quick. You know what I want. In Proverbs. Let's get that real quick. Hey, because the scriptures is making it clear, man. Although is it a parable, and that might sound like an oxymoron, parables, things are made clear in parables. Real quick, give me a Proverbs. Oh, beautiful point, bro. Proud Boys. Yep, they actually walked by the camp Saturday before we started. Give me Proverbs 8 real quick. I want to say 8 and 9. Start at the 8th verse.
This Proverbs 8, in verse 8. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness.
Right, and the words of the Lord's mouth is right here in the scriptures, which we physically bring it forth, being the prophets. But the words of the Lord's mouth is right here. These are the words, right? Go ahead.
It says, there is nothing void or perverse in them.
Yep, go ahead.
They are all plain.
They are all plain. Go ahead.
To him that no understanding.
Read that again.
It says, they are all plain to him that understand them. And right to them that find knowledge. See,
so these words are plain, although it's in parables. When you read Ecclesiastes 39, Matthew the 13th chapter, while the Lord spoke to the people in parables, which that was a fulfillment of Psalms the 78th chapter, this book is shrouded in mystery, but it's plain to us without understanding. So as we read these things, we can say, hold up, man, that's dealing with the so-called white man right there. Not to mention, we see simultaneously where this man is ruling the planet Earth. You pull out your paper dollar and you got this nigga face on it, man. This beast system, right, which has extended throughout the world, it's a global system, that's under the watch of Esau, man, the so-called white man. See, so although these are parables, but it's made plain to us. And that shows you how heavy Yahweh Shem outside is. Okay, so that was it on that. All right, come on, let's get this real quick.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 11. She is loud and stubborn.
See, she is loud and stubborn. That's dealing with who? This is a parable concerning Esau, and in particular America. Okay, that horse that rideth upon the scarlet beast. See that? So that's what we read here. Read that again.
Proverbs 7 and 11. She is loud and stubborn.
She is loud and stubborn. The loudness goes into her legislations and laws, which extends throughout the planet Earth. If you don't yield to what this devil pushed forth, then they hit you with sanctions. See that? And that proves right there that Esau is in power, man. You got niggas like Vocab Malone saying Edomites are done away with. Well, hold up. If we was to go with that logic, and this straight up, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. If we were to go with that logic, that means this is the kingdom of heaven. The goddamn McDonald's, man. See? Well, since we know that's not the case, it can only mean one thing. The so-called white man is in rulership. Go to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter real quick. I know you holding. Get that real quick. See, again, the scripture serves as a gauge, man, a measuring stick. Oh, that's what it is. This is that rod. This is the rod. It tells you that in Revelation 11 chapter, where we're able to gauge where we at in this process. And what we found out is the so-called white man is not extinct yet. He's here, man. Go ahead, Doc. Go to the point. Right, yeah, matter of fact, nope, build it up.
All right, 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, where shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Yep, what shall be the distinguishment? How will we know where we at? Right? Go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first?
See, and when shall be the end of the first? Go ahead. Which, by the way, that complements Acts the 1st chapter. And I'm throwing this out to those of you who are serious-minded, man. Because when you go into Acts the 1st chapter, the first thing the disciples asked the Lord was, when will you set up the kingdom? So that's what Ezra is saying here. Okay, go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first, in the beginning of it that followeth?
Yep.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau.
So we ain't that, come on, man. We shouldn't be as crazy as you guys want us to be. You think we you want to paint the picture as if we a bunch of disgruntled so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's vicariously acting out our hate. We use Jacob and Esau. Well, this is the answer. The first thing he told me, he asked, when would it be the part sign of time? And the Lord gave him the word back. Look, he said, going back to Jacob and Esau. Which when you go into that dynamic between Jacob and Esau, they struggle in the womb. And now when you go into that word struggle, it means to oppress or crush one another. Okay, so right now Esau have us, but in the world to come, we're going to subdue him. But nevertheless, those are the two main characters. Okay, go ahead.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yeah.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Oh, for Esau is the end of the world. See, go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So right there, we know where we at in the process because we see who's ruling. Okay, that's how you gauge where you at. You know, we know who's in power because of the policies, the laws. Right now, you got homos running. So that means the wicked is in power, man. From this man legislation down to his trends. You got motherfuckers in skinny leg jeans with a damn mohawk, a rainbow color mohawk. And you got the man purse, and it's a 40 cal in there. That's Esau. That's the sword. That's everything about Esau. You know? You got something? All right, now we're going to go back. All right. So now let's go back to Proverbs.
Proverbs 7:11. It says, she is loud and stubborn.
See, the so-called white man through America is loud and stubborn. Again, that loudness represents his legislations. You know, his influence, which has extended throughout the world. Again, you have McDonald's throughout this place. You know, you got homosexuals over there in Tel Aviv. It's the biggest gay parade ever. Why is that? Because Esau, the so-called white man, and his legislations has reached out. Go ahead.
It says, her feet abide not in her house.
See, her feet abide not in her house. And again, that proves that that's concerning this time. Hey, but you're going to find out as well that the scriptures, when read with understanding, is pretty much a build-up to now, man. Okay? But it says she's loud and stubborn and her feet abide not in her house. Like we mentioned, you have these military bases all throughout the planet Earth. You have embassies. See? So that was it on that?
Yeah.
All right, so come on, let's go back.
He's on Habakkuk 2:5. Yeah, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man.
Yep, he is a proud man. Again, that word proud, that placed the so-called white man at the scene of the crime. No doubt about it. Go ahead.
Neither keepeth at home.
See, neither keepeth at home. Go ahead.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Whoa, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Yep. Go there. Go ahead.
And is as death.
And what?
Is as death.
And is as death. So Esau is known as death. Now, why is that important? Well, let's get the scripture.
1 Corinthians 15:26. The last enemy.
The what?
The last enemy.
The last days, the end time. Go ahead.
That shall be destroyed is death.
Is death. That's dealing with Esau, man. Okay? So there you have it. It just placed Esau at the scene of the crime. We know we're here in the latter days because who is ruling, which we just read in 2 Ezra 6 chapter, the 9th verse. Esau is the end of the world. See, read that one more time out before we go back.
It said the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death.
Right, so in this series of kingdoms, right, the last one that's going to be destroyed, because ancient Babylonian was brought to ruins, right, the Medo-Persian Empire, they was all brought to ruins. You have to go in a damn museum and read up on these people, man. So the last enemy, the last, obstacle, if you will, before the kingdom of heaven is set up is death, which translates to Esau. And this nigga, everything about him is death. All right, from this man's image, that's death. He being a damn clean leopard. Okay, he can't go out in the sun. This man, he represents death, man. His diet, he made pork a delicacy. That's why your auntie, that's why her feet got cut off. Oh, that's the sword. That great sword. Esau's diet is a sword because you end up with your feet cut off. So this nigga is deaf, man. And we might have to dial it back because you already know when we get on Esau, this can go on and on and on, man. All right, so let's go.
It says, and is as death and cannot be satisfied.
Yep, and cannot be satisfied, which goes full circle to what we open up with. We're going to go back to Isaiah 13 chapter, where it says prophesy against Babylon, which we went into that word Babylon, and the word that's babal, you go into that definition, it says confusion by mixing. So this man, he's not satisfied. He pretty much heapeth all nations to himself, which that's contrary to Yahweh Shah. What's that? Genesis the 11th chapter, the Tower of Babel. All right, go ahead.
It says, But gathered unto him all nations.
See, but gather unto him all nations. We just read that in Ezekiel, what was that, 16th chapter? I mean, 31. Right? Go ahead.
Heapeth unto him all people.
See, and heapeth unto him all people. If that's not talking about the so-called white man, you know, and his rulership manifests these nations. I don't know what, I guess we might say not just physical nations, but you know, ideas, philosophies. This place is a hub for we good? This place is a hub for different ideas and philosophies. You got platforms. You have an outlet, an alternative, whatever you want to be. All right. If you want to be an atheist, you have that option here in America. So you know that's a form of, you know, gathering. Yeah, for sure.
I got a precept too.
Okay, we back.
Let me see. That would have looked like. Let me see. Can we back now?
We back. Hey, Salakia. Just give us a thumbs up. It looked like we back on our end, but just to make sure.
Yeah, it looked like it's good on the end.
Okay, we good? Okay, come. All right, let's go.
Yeah, just real quick. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges.
Read that again. Read that again.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why his fingerprints is all over the place. That's why, again, you got McDonald's out there. Okay. You got you know, the LGBTQ XYZ and that influence. Why? Because it's in his hand. See? Go ahead.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Mm-hmm.
If not.
Yep, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Now, let's examine that right there as well. Get 2 Thessalonians. You got that? It said he covered the faces of the judges thereof. See, what we read here is the scriptures pretty much giving you insight. The scriptures, Yahweh Shema Shai is laying it out to you. But it's up to you to have eyes to see, ears to hear. Pretty much your senses have to be heightened. Your spiritual antennas have to be up, man, to pick up on these signals. Okay? So the Lord is giving, he's laying it out to you. It said this man covered the faces of the judges thereof. Now we go into these ancient busts, these frescoes, these paintings. You have, well, you had the Renaissance era, which was the rebirth, and that's going into, what's that, Malachi? They should return and rebuild the desolate place. Lord willing, we'll go there. But it doesn't stop there. Okay, the prophecies is everlasting, right? It's not just designated to one time period. When they cover the faces of the judges, that even spills over to movies. That's why you have a movie about Moses or the patriarchs of the Bible, our forefathers, and you got Esau playing a role. That's a form of them covering the faces of the judges, man. See? So there's no way this devil can get out of this. All right? Real quick, give me what you got.
Because it's 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
It says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High.
Who is that? You can see, these are the questions you got to ask. You know who we found that is? That's dealing with the so-called white man. He do opposive, which that word opposive goes into being adverse. So everything comes together perfectly, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, or that is worship,
Mm-hmm.
so that he asked the Most High.
See, he asked the Most High, go ahead.
Sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
Sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
Showing himself he is the Most High.
See, read that again.
It says, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Showing himself that he is the Most High. That goes in the movies. Although we understand it goes into paintings and frescoes and busk, right? But also in these movies, showing himself that he is the Most High, All right, go ahead. Is it more on that?
A little bit more. It says, remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things, and know ye not what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
See, that he might be revealed in his time. And this is that time. This is the time. That's why, well, matter of fact, read on.
It says, for the mystery of iniquity.
For the mystery of iniquity, meaning Esau being the devil that the Bible speaks of was a mystery even in that time. They knew he was, he was the enemy, right? When you go into the Roman Jewish wars, the taxation, okay? But they didn't know that was actually the devil that the Bible speaks of, once the meal was prepared. Okay, go ahead.
It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
See, go ahead.
Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Yep, continue.
And then
what's the Apostle Paul talking about here? He's talking about this lifetime, right? Go ahead.
It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed.
Oh, and then shall that wicked be revealed. And how would this come about? Because we would set our face against him. The Lord told us to put your eyes. Hey, it's like this, right? You have motherfuckers in the party, and if you ain't paying attention to him, he but once you get somebody, say, hey, watch that, then you put the scope on them, man. See, that's what's happening now. The Lord commanded us to set our face against Seir, man, against the so-called white man, and wherever he might pitch his tent, which would be America, man. All right, you had something? Go to Malachi. The first chapter. All right, go ahead.
It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed.
Go ahead.
Whom the Lord shall consume.
Whom the Lord shall consume. And that's what's happening now. That's why you got YouTube guidelines. And guess what? We know that. We don't need nobody to tell us. Because we have, through the Spirit, we have rolled up our sleeves. We on the front lines. We in the trenches. We know who we fight. He's going to tell us. You know how we know? Because he's sending us emails. YouTube guidelines, taking down channels, compromise. Well, it just happened. He just sent the ping. He just broke up, the Go ahead, Doc.
It says, continuing on, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yep, and that's the climax, right? Go ahead.
Even him,
see?
Whose coming is after the working of Satan.
See, this is the physical counterpart of the spiritual being Satan, which when you really go into that, his coming is after the working of being adverse. That's what his works is all about. Everything this man set out to do is to come up against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, go ahead.
With all power, and signs and lying wonders.
And signs and lying wonders. So we was commanded to set our sights on him. Now he's being assessed. He's being thoroughly. Give me that Inquisition. And we're going to go into, I don't care how many times, like we say, in the spirit. If you ain't in the right spirit, this can become this a weigh on you, like a stone. Then you are cast it off. All right, before we go there, and I want you to get the definition too. Okay. All right, let's get this. Malachi, start at the very top.
Malachi 1:1, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, where hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord.
There you go again. Hey, that was the Lord brought up Jacob and Esau. So how about that? What you got to say about that? For all of you want to make it seem as if we reaching, we keep bringing up Jacob and Esau like, nah, that's in the past. Why are you even mentioning it? Well, the Lord just mentioned Jacob and Esau, man. Read that again.
I have loved you, said the Lord, yet ye say, where hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
See? And that's the word of the Lord. See? This was the response to Israel. Was not Jacob Esau's brother? Go ahead.
Said the Lord, yet I love Jacob.
See, yet I love Jacob. Go ahead.
And I hated Esau.
Man. Okay. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. The ungodly is hateful before the
Oh, you talking about?
Oh, no, not that one. Yeah. Is that it?
Is both like hateful?
Yep, that's it. Give me that. You have something? Yeah, let's hold that. Okay, come on. Yep, let's hold that. Yep, go ahead.
Wisdom Solomon 14:9.
Now remember, the Lord said he hated Esau. Well, hold up. I thought there was a saying, the Lord hates the sin, not the sinner. Because a Christian, a witty Christian, a well-studied Christian, a more sophisticated Christian, he'll flip it and bounce it like that. He said, oh, well, if he hated it, no, it ain't really Esau. He hated the sin. No, the Lord said he hate Esau, man. But just in case if that's not enough, let's go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness.
See, for the ungodly and his ungodliness. So right there it shows you that you have wickedness on the planet Earth, but the source of the wickedness is actually the wicked. You have ungodliness, yeah, but the source of the ungodliness is the ungodly. So with knowing that, then you have to find out who is this? Who is the ungodly? Right? Go ahead.
It says, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High.
So the Lord said both of them hateful. Not just the ungodliness, but the ungodly himself. So that kills that idea of the Lord hates the sin. And whoever came up with that, let's show you, man. Let's show you that these people crazy, man. Came up with some shit like that. That's not biblical. God he hates the sin, not the sinner. The fuck out of here. Yeah, come on.
This is Rock 27-24. I have hated many things, but nothing like him.
Woo! Read that again.
It says, I have hated many things, but nothing like him.
But nothing like him. Now, that's where we come in. See, we hate him. And it's going to tell you why. Go ahead.
For the Lord will
hate him. For the Lord will hate him. You'll give me that in Psalms. What's that? Yep. Read that again while he's getting that.
Psalms, it's like Sirach 27 and verse 24. I have hated many things, but nothing like him.
Yeah, but nothing like Esau, man. Why? Because he is the source of the many things that we hate. Go ahead.
For the Lord will hate him.
See, for the Lord will hate him. And we reading it right there in the book of Malachi, the first chapter. All right, so now let's go to where you at.
Psalm 139 and 21.
Is that a psalm of, let's see.
That's a psalm of David.
That's a psalm of David. So that's the vibration. The house of David is under this vibration right here. All right, go ahead.
Psalm 139 and 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord?
Woo! Do not I hate them, O Lord? Go ahead.
That hate thee?
That hate thee. And who is that talking about? Esau. Because he showed that he hates the Most High through his actions. Case in point, the Big Bang Theory, man. You should be pissed when you're in the right spirit, man. You want to fuck Esau up behind that. Because we understand, the works of Yahweh Shema Shah, his powerful works. The Son. Now, scriptures say they love the creation more than the creator. But no, we love the creator. We understand that it was Yahweh Shema Shah through his powerful hand that created these great works, man. Yeah, this motherfucking Esau to turn around and say that it was a ball of gas in the Big Bang Theory. That's a conscious effort to somehow cancel out a higher power, man. Go ahead, huh? Hey, that's why we hate them. Go ahead.
It said, do not I hate them, O Lord, that I hate thee?
Yep, go ahead.
And am not I grieved with them?
And not we are grieved with this damn devil, man. See, go ahead.
And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred.
With perfect hatred. So there's a special hatred, man. We hate this devil this hatred in its perfection is really on display with what you're saying now, being able to go into the scriptures and understanding who our enemies are, assessing this man, the spotlight being on him, making inquisition. So that's where that hate is coming. The scriptures tell you that with much wisdom is much sorrow. So the more and more we find out, the works of this devil and his underhanded schemes and, his ill dealings and treachery that he commit behind the scenes, that puts more fuel on the fire, man. All right. You got something? Now that was it on here, right?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, so now let's go.
And it's Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 8. I'm starting at 8. It says, therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid. Neither shall vengeance when it punishes.
Read that one more time.
It says, therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid.
See, going back to the analogy we made in the spirit. If you're not paying attention, then a person can be hid. But once you lock in, then he said, hold up. This motherfucker here, man. And that's why the Lord told us to set our face against Mount Seir, man. We locked in. We watching your every move, you damn devil. And we calling you out on it. Okay? Read that again.
It says, therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance when it punisheth pass by him.
Right, so there's no way Esau is going to get out of this. No stimulus package, or, this man will not be able to, hedge some form of protection in the form of his New World Order by crowning his enterprise of success. None of that is going to get this man out of this ass whooping Yahweh Shema Shah has prepared for him. Right? Go ahead.
For inquisition.
Whoa, for what?
Inquisition.
For inquisition, go ahead.
Shall be made unto the counsels of the ungodly.
Of the ungodly. And the brother brought out the ungodliness and the ungodly and the ungodliness is hateful before the Most High. All right? So now, that was it on that?
It's a little bit more.
Okay, come.
It says, in the sound of his word shall come into the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds.
Woo! See that? So, it's so much this man can do as far as, trying to hide himself, creep behind the scenes, meet together in these secret councils. Look, man, the Lord Yahweh Shema outside hear everything. Okay? All right, so come on.
The word inquisition, it says a period of prolonged and intensive questioning.
Yeah, and that's the time. This is that period. Okay? Esau wish we just go away. You consider a criminal, and he's in an interrogation room. Man, he looking at the clock. He just wish they'd get it over with, man. That intensive questioning. But this is what Esau is experiencing. Every day, brothers bringing out videos and exposing this man. All right, this man is trying to, bridge his plans together by way of his agenda. Okay, you got the whole Crown 19 fiasco and such, as well as other things, right? But the Lord is catching them. It's like every move he make. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. You got that? We're gonna be taking back.
Yeah.
That's it. That's spirit.
Turn the wild man back.
Yep, that's it. That's it. That's spirit.
Isaiah 44 and 25.
Yep.
It says that frustrated the tokens of the liars.
See, this word is frustrating the token of the liars. Here it is. You're in an alley trying to make a deal, and a light. Somebody shine a light on you. That's what Yahweh Shema outside is doing here, man. See, read that again.
It said that frustrated the tokens of the liars.
Yeah, this man has been trying to put this thing in motion for years, man. And he thought that he found the perfect opportunity. Really, when you go back to 2007, you remember when he first tried to come out with that chip thing, but the Spirit of the Lord had it where the apostles came out in the summer of that same year, man. That nigga had to go back to the drawing board. Right? Go ahead.
It said, and make up diviners mad.
Yep.
That turn up wise men backwards.
See, that turning wise men backwards, meaning they can't pursue any further with the plan. Every time they try to, they have to step back. Oh, shit, they go to cops. See that? The Lord putting the squeeze on Esau now. See? Go ahead.
It says, and make of their knowledge foolish.
And make of their knowledge foolish. That's why this man, in his feeble attempts to try to push forth his agenda, you got the average person even questioning, like, hold up, man. That don't make sense. See? You got something? Go ahead.
Yep. This is Job 5 and 14. They meet with darkness in the daytime.
See? Beautiful. Read that again.
They meet with darkness in the daytime.
Yeah, they meet with darkness in the daytime. Here it is. They're trying to deal underhandedly in the middle of the day, man. Which this is the height of light. Okay? This is the time where light is at its height. Pretty much noonday. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, and grope in the noonday.
Yeah, you grope it. Oh, no, that's it. That's spirit. Yeah, they grope in the noonday. That's the highest point of the day. Right now is the highest form of light or information. Right now, the highest level of information is on display, man, and accessible. See? Go ahead.
It says, and grope in the noonday.
Yeah, they reaching. Here it is. They groping. They reaching in the noonday. Hey, and that proves that Esau is on this great epic fall. Because when someone fall, instinctively they reaching, they grabbing, and they yelling. Matter of fact, could you give me that real quick? Give me Jeremiah the 5th chapter. You got something? All right, go ahead.
This Solomon 2 in verse 13,
Mm-hmm.
it says, he professes to have the knowledge of the Most High.
Yep, and when you read this right here, this is what I'm saying in the second chapter, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you read this chapter, this is pretty much Esau reasoning with himself, in their secret councils and their meetings. And they came to the conclusion that we are the men of the Lord and we profess to have the truth. Why? Because they watching us, man. And it tells you in Psalms, the 23rd chapter, how the Lord prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies. That's also in Psalms 37. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, he called himself the child of the Lord.
Yeah, and that's what we do. That's the overtone of this thing. We the Israelites. That word Israel translates to the child or the prince of the Most High. Go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
Yeah, we was built for this. We was designed to reprove the thoughts of Esau. And that's heavy when you go into that. The thoughts goes into his meetings. Because when you consider the body of Esau, the overall body of the so-called white man, who is the head? The bankers. And your head is where your thoughts are. So amongst the heads of Esau is where they plan and plot. See, we read your mind. We know now, we telling the world your thoughts. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, he is grievous unto us, even to behold.
And this is how these devils feel about us. They say that we are grievous, even to behold. When they get that alert, you can imagine the motherfucker, and Esau not sleeping and shit like that. They got money, but they not resting. It said he's not going to feel quietness in his belly. Nigga got pill bottles sprawled all over the place. So when they get that alert, this is grievous for them to behold. See, go ahead.
I got another real quick. This Job 15, verse 21, it says, a dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yep, a dreadful sound is in his ears. That's them alerts. and every time we start off, we praising that, we saying Yahweh Shem Shah. You don't understand the power behind this, man. This is a heavy war going on here. See? Which the rest of the world know nothing about. They just watching TV and shit like that. But there's an intense battle going on, right? And a fight for the throne. That's what's taking place here, man. Go ahead, huh?
It says, a dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
Yep, all right, come on.
God, this is the book of Jeremiah 5 and 22. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by perpetual decree?
By perpetual decree. So the Lord decreed that you had the Assyrians to rule, the Babylonians to rule. That was decreed. Hey, when you read, I want to say that's in Jeremiah as well, where the Lord said the nation that won't serve Nebuchadnezzar, the Lord gonna deal with them. Why? Because it was decreed for Nebuchadnezzar to rule. Well, the Lord said by a perpetual decree, he set the bounds of the sands for the sea, right? Go ahead.
It said that it cannot pass.
That it cannot what?
Pass it?
That it cannot pass. So don't give a damn what Esau do. This motherfucker can beef up his military. He can advance his technology. But in no wise will you pass the date, the hour. That's in Revelation, the 9th chapter.
Yep, that's it.
The time set for the year, the month, the week, the day, all the way down to the minute. It's all your destiny is already written in decree, Esau. See? Go ahead.
It said, and though the waves thereof toss themselves.
And though they toss themselves, meaning the so right now, what you're witnessing is Esau tossing himself. Here it is. The spirit is corralling him and he's fighting against it. He's resisting prophecy. So he's tossing himself. Go ahead.
It said, and though the waves thereeof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail.
Yet can you not prevail. Right? Go ahead.
Though they roar.
Though they what?
Roar.
Though they roar. That's his media, his legislations, his laws. That's this man roaring. It's equivalent to you taking a pig to the slaughter. He's not going to go easy. He's going to squeal and roar, Go ahead.
It said, though they roar, yet can they not pass over.
Yet can you not add 1 day, 1 second to your rulership. It's already written. All right, come on.
This Job 14 and 5. It says, seeing his days are determined.
Right, and we see this. This is where prophecy come in. Okay, the Lord gave us the ability to see Esau's future. Right? Go ahead.
I got the word determine.
Mm-hmm.
It says bring or come to an end.
Whoa. Come on, man. The bring or come to an end. See? So sin, your days are determined. Sin, your end is already set. Right? Go ahead.
It says the number of his months are with thee.
Right. The number of his months are with Yahweh Shema Shah. Meaning the Lord has jurisdiction. The Lord alone has jurisdiction over Esau and how long he will rule, man. Okay? And this is what contributes to the comfort that we have the luxury of having now, man. You know these people out here like Black Lives Matter, you had the girl get popped. She got shot, man. And that could be all of,
Yeah.
but nevertheless it is what it is. But you have our people, they banging their head against the wall, they scratching and clawing, looking for some form of relief, right? But we have that relief because we know the end of the movie. We watching the movie, right? I know the movie. So when the boogeyman jump out, I'm not gonna jump. It's not gonna affect me. Versus a person who never saw the movie. They're gonna be all uptight. But see, you know the end of the movie then. So again, that's the spirit that the Lord have allowed. That's what we have developed by coming into this truth. Eyes to see. Like it says, seeing his days are determined. See, go ahead.
It says, thou hast appointed his bounds
Yep.
that he cannot pass.
Right. So it's appointed, the Lord have appointed your bounds, and you can't pass it. There's nothing you can do. All right. Come on.
This Job 38:10.
Mm-hmm.
And break up forward my decreed place.
There that word decree again. See, Esau can't override this ordinance that come down from the heavens, man. See, which that ordinance came down by who? Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah the word. And this is why he's the king of kings, because his decree offsets any plans and plots Esau got. See, go ahead.
It says, and break up forward my decreed place.
See, go ahead.
And set bars.
Oh,
and
which
doors.
really, when you read into this more, it go into Yahweh Shah. This is a dark saying right here in Job, the 38th chapter. Read that again.
God, it said, and break up forward my decreed place.
See, go ahead.
And set bars and doors.
And set bars and doors. When you have bars and doors, that means it's a restriction. It's a bar. If you're in jail, that's a bar, man. I mean, you can't go. You can walk around that cell all day, but you can't go past that bar. You're stirring up shit up in the cell. But what keeps you at bay? That bar, man. Yeah, go ahead.
See, it said, hitherto shalt thou come.
See, hitherto shalt thou come, which could easily be 2022. Or what is it, 2021? It might be 2021. But whatever it might be, hitherto Esau shall come, go ahead.
But no further.
But no further. See, go ahead.
In here,
right?
shall thy proud ways be stayed.
Shall thy proud ways be stayed. That's dealing with the so-called white man and his rulership. Okay? Go ahead.
It said, hast thou commanded the morning since thy days?
Yeah, do you know when Yahweh Shah returning? See, go ahead.
And caused the day spring to know his place?
Yeah, do you know when the day? Hey, that's dealing with Yahweh Shah. You know when you read Proverbs, it say the good man come home appointed time.
Yep.
He coming in the morning. He's the morning star. Right? Let's continue.
Yeah, it said that it might take hold of the ends of the earth.
See, that it may take hold of the ends of the earth, which is now. Go ahead.
That the wicked may be shaken out of it.
That the wicked may be shaken out of it. That's dealing with the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah. That's not talking about just an average morning. Because the morning don't take the wicked out. It's niggas wake up in the morning busting a blunt. All right? This talking about when Yahweh Shah return and take Esau off of his throne completely. That's going to be the emphatic, the exclamation point, man. And each day the sunrise, sunset, we marching closer and closer to that day. All right, come on.
Because it's Revelation 9 in verse 15. It says, and the four angels was loose, which was prepared for an hour, and a day, in a month, in a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Right, and the third part of men being Esau, man. See? So it was already prepared. The Lord prepared this thing all the way down. It's down to a science, man. It's nothing Esau can do. Even his moves is a part. His moves is furthering. His moves is contributing to his destruction, man. Why do you think all these missiles? Esau knew what time was. He wouldn't have made the missiles. If he had free will to just say, no, I ain't going to be destroyed. Let's not just make missiles. He would have just did that. But as it were, everything is in place now. The pieces is in place. The missiles here. All right, you got America over here. You got Russia over here. You got the house divided, which Yahweh Shah prophesied that thousands of years ago. The house will be divided. You got this balance of power, okay, which will ultimately bump heads. Yep, checkmate. The Lord have checkmated this damn devil, man. See? And again, this contributes to our comfort. See? Yep, Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near. Beautiful. Upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done. Beautiful. Give me that in Proverbs 26. It says, as thou hast done, see, it shall be done unto thee. Oh, it went up like missed it. Matter of fact, get that.
It's the book of Obadiah 1 in verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Yeah.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Yeah, that's like the morning. You can't stop the morning. I don't give a damn what technology you got. They're showing you right there the Lord is in control. All the technology. Can you stop the morning from coming, man? The morning is coming. So that's why the Lord said the day of the Lord. Yeah, that's when we're in the night. You ripping and running. The fuck, you can't stop that. You can't stop that morning, man. You can't stop the day of the Lord. See, go ahead.
It says, thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Yep, thy reward shall return upon thy own head, man. Okay? And a reward is not just a good, you rewarded for good and bad. That's in what, Revelation? Oh, that's going right until the morning star. Okay? So the Lord coming with that bag of money. All right? Come on.
Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein,
Mm-hmm.
and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Read that again. Go to Blue.
God. It said, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Right, and that's Esau's offense. He dug a pit, he set snares and traps, which goes into his nature. It's not he the cunning hunter. Of course he is. But he also rolled a stone. That's a mischievous nigga. You walking by, and he rolled a stone on, But that's what he did in the form of his airstrikes and such. He rolled that stone on everybody else, and that stone gonna be rolled on him. We're gonna end right here.
Come this on Ezekiel 35. Let's start at verse Ezekiel 35 verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Read that again.
It says, son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
And prophesy against it. Okay? This is the task given. This is what we ought to do. Because again, you know what that proves? That proves that the Lord is now has raised up, and sprung into action concerning delivering us. Just like in ancient Egypt, the Lord raised up Moses and Aaron in the stead of prophets. And what they did, they prophesied against Pharaoh, the house of Pharaoh. Well, that's what you're witnessing now, here in the spiritual Egypt. The Lord commanded to set our face against these devils. So let's get what you got. We're ready to close up.
Just that word against, it says, this is just regular Google definition.
Mm-hmm.
It says in opposition to.
In opposition to, yep.
It says at odds with, in a disagreement with.
Now we don't agree with that. Esau got laid out there, man. Right? Go ahead.
Versus, counter, dead set against.
Yeah, whoa. That said it all. We dead set against the so-called white man. It's all in the spirit. The driving force, the motivation behind it is the spirit of our Lord Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah. All right? So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, the great millstone, Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in his work. And as always, you believe it's the Akim as well as the Aqua. Those of you who subscribe to this truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom.
DTA, Abba,
Soon.
Very soon.